Philly shooting outside rec center injured 5, including 2 critically, report. This was published August 16th, 2022, written by Paul Vigna for PennLive.com. Philadelphia police are investigating a Tuesday evening shooting that left 5 people injured outside of a rec center, a recreation center, a place meant for people to have fun, commingle, socialize, that sort of thing. A rec center in America is a war zone. It's a part of the ever-expanding war zone terrain of America, where any place at any time you can get shot for no reason or for stupid reasons, but we allow it to happen because we allow guns to permeate, but Americans think this is okay. The incident took place before 7 p.m. near the Shepard Recreation Center at 57th Street and Haverford Avenue in West Philadelphia, according to WPVI. Several men in a white SUV opened fire on the block, police said. Now, some stupid people, will watch this video and say, West Philadelphia is a dangerous neighborhood. West Philadelphia is the hood. West Philadelphia is the ghetto. Never minding how racist and disturbing that language is to say that a certain area filled with certain types of people are going to be more violent. And you'll even hear some black people say this. Now, I don't care, or I don't know and I don't care about the race of the people who did this mass shooting or who were the victims, because all of them were American. They were American citizens, and we should be embarrassed that in any part of America, the worst part, the ghetto, the hood, the burbs, the school, the church, the supermarket, all of the places where mass shootings happen in the borders of the United States of America. That is embarrassing. The entire country is the ghetto. The entire country is the hood. The entire country is the bad part of town. So fuck you to all the people that want to come in here and shit on poor people just because they live in a bad neighborhood. So what? They deserve to die? They deserve to be a part of mass shootings? Those people who just so happen to not have the socioeconomic income or level that you have, they deserve to be a part of a mass shooting? Fuck you. You're a sick person. All Americans deserve to live. What did you right-wing nuts say? All lives matter. All lives matter. All lives matter against gun violence. In the United States, gun violence affects everybody, because I cover mass shootings in all parts of the country, and trust me, it's not just happening in the hood. I'll continue reading. The 5 victims range in ages from 16 to 22. 2 are listed in extremely critical condition at an area hospital. So once again, I report on mass shootings where 4 or more people are shot, not just when they die. That's a mass murder. And I'll say this, there's no such thing as non-life-changing injuries. There might be a non-life-threatening injury. I guess you got shot in your pinky, but hey, that's a very traumatic event. To get shot is one of the most traumatic things that can ever happen to a person. It's literally a near-death experience, and after that, you don't know if the person might die or succumb to their injuries, might be permanently paralyzed, partially paralyzed, need psychological help or therapy for the rest of their life. We don't know. That person's life is changed forever. And it's not worth it. In the United States, we waste billions of dollars on medical treatment every year for injuries that should only happen in war zones because we allow guns to permeate. But if you tell this to most Americans, you know what they'll say? Jesus Christ wrote the Constitution and told me that I need to have a gun. Shit, the founding fathers, the slave-owning, racist, white supremacist men who were the founding fathers of our nation, who murdered and slaughtered all those Native Americans, those people had the right idea when they said that a well-regulated militia should be monitored by the government. Yeah, these stupid motherfuckers, man. I hate Americans. I hate Americans so much because they're so fucking stupid. Because it doesn't matter how many times this happens in America. You guess what? This article literally gets less than 100 words. 3 men were taken into custody after the shooting, WPVI reported. Anyone with information is asked to call police at this number. Okay, so I've done mass shooting videos on Philadelphia earlier this year. Of course, these videos got 3-4 views because absolutely nobody cares about American death. Nobody cares about the troubles that are happening all across the country, where there can be 2 or more mass shootings in a single day, where 4 or more people are shot. And that's just mass shootings. I'm not even talking about individual homicides, shootings where 3 people get shot or 2 people. You know, we're only talking about the shootings where 4 or more people get shot. And of course, nobody cares. But I'll continue reading. This article has a bit more detail, which is good, but it's still sad that, you know, a mass shooting is still only local news. You know, police searching for three suspects in connection with mass shooting near West Philadelphia Rec Center. This was published on August 17th, 2022, written by the CBS 3 staff, KERRI CORRADO and Howard MONROE. All right, so Philadelphia CBS. Police say they're searching for three suspects in connection with Tuesday night's mass shooting outside a West Philadelphia Rec Center that sent 5 people to the hospital. The shooting happened at the intersection of 57th Street and Westminster Avenue around 7 p.m. Local leaders put on a united front on Wednesday to say enough is enough, including District Attorney Larry Krasner and Mayor Jim Kenney. Yeah, to the District Attorney and Mayor who are just saying, put down the guns, please, guys. We need peace. Fuck you, suck my dick. As elected leaders, you should be actively fighting to mitigate the level of violence that will continue to happen by letting guns permeate in American streets. This doesn't happen in third world nations. Mass shootings at this frequency don't happen in the countries I've been to, like Indonesia, Tunisia, Serbia, Turkey. I'm making this video now in Mauritius, in Africa. Mass shootings are unheard of around the world. But in the richest, most developed, the greatest country that ever existed, we can have 2 or more mass shootings a day. And no American thinks it's a problem. More Americans get mad at me for talking shit about the Second Amendment, how I will wipe my ass with your Constitution, with the Second Amendment as the first roll of toilet paper. They will get more mad at me for saying this rather than saying we need to save American lives and get rid of the guns, because the gun is their God. The gun can lay on the cross with arms outfolded anthropomorphically, and Americans will worship the gun and bow to it because that is what they love. Right? Stupid Americans. I'll continue. This is about as serious as it gets when it comes to criminal activity, Krasner said. As of now, police say they don't have a motive for the shooting, but now local, state, and federal authorities are working together to put a stop to Philly's surge in gun violence. On Wednesday, Kenney announced for any shooting near a rec center, school, or library, the city will offer a $10,000 reward for information leading to arrests. Ah, yes. Let's use taxpayer money to stop a problem that could easily be stopped in any other nation and doesn't happen in any other nation. Yes, let's take money from the taxpayers' pockets to allow them to stop, to allow them to try to stop mass shootings. Anyway, police say the alleged shooters pulled up outside the rec center and started firing. After the shooting, police say the alleged shooters crashed a 2018 white Dodge Durango at Haverford Avenue and Farson Street. 3 men were eventually apprehended, but another 3 escaped, Chief Inspector Frank Venor said. One of the suspects was caught in a house, another was found hiding under a car, and the third was caught in a foot pursuit with officers, police said. One of the suspects entered a nearby woman's house. When I turned around, that's when I thought today's the day I'm going to be a victim. What do I do? She said. Insane that Americans have to live in fear at a rec center. But this is normal in America because this is only local news. This is not national news. This is not something we'll hear about on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC on primetime television. No, we're talking about a bear that got drunk on honey in Turkey. We're talking about, I don't know, Kim Kardashian's latest post. We're not talking about the number of children getting shot, shooting other children, and other Americans committing heinous crimes with weapons. Yeah. Let's talk about stupid shit, not the real shit, right? Anyway, by the way, the mainstream media, when I hate that term mainstream media because it's a part of far-right, it's part of the far-right lexicon, but the mainstream media is also in bed with the defense contractors who spend millions of dollars every year on advertising on their platforms, and the same defense contractors that make drones that go and terrorize people across the world also make the weapons that Americans buy in retail and sell amongst each other, and they have no interest at all at advertising the true level of mass shootings. Yes, the mainstream media has to report on the big mass shootings, you know, when some idiot walks into a school every 3 or 4 months and lays down 10 of our children. Yeah, the mainstream media has to talk about that, but they don't want to talk about the other mass shootings, the constant mass shootings that happen every day in America. It's been close to 500 mass shootings in 2022 alone, and we're probably going to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. 1,000 mass shootings, at least 3 or 4 per day. That's insane. But to Americans, this is just fine. They'll say it's a mental health issue. But this isn't a mental health issue. This is people doing criminal activity and crimes of passion, hurting other Americans. You cannot use psychotherapy to help people who commit crimes of passion or are criminals. What we can do is lower their chance to hurt other people by getting the weapons out of their hands. Most yes, most Americans do not commit crimes with their guns. Yes, but enough do, and enough stupid shit and bad shit happens that it doesn't worth it. It's not worth it. It doesn't equal out. The good people who don't commit crimes match with the 1 to 5 to 10% of people who do commit crimes with these weapons. It's insane. It doesn't make sense. The bad apples are spoiling the entire bunch, and besides, the weapons industries that make these weapons are terrorists unto themselves. They create these weapons of war that the U.S. government then uses to terrorize other people across the world. So all of the companies themselves are evil. If you buy from these companies, you are supporting evil. Period. If you think it's okay for the U.S. to drop drones on children in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Syria, Yemen, and you think that's okay, go ahead, spend your money with your nearest gun store manufacturer. Give your hard-earned money to those people who then make those drones that then go over there and kill those kids, because you think that's okay on your conscience. That's fine with you, right? It's not fine with me. The meek shall inherit the earth. So anyway, she says the suspect asked her not to scream. She says she somehow calmly made it to the front door and waved in the police, who were already arresting another suspect on her front yard. I thought, how do I play this smart and get back to the front door? I just pointed silently that he just went upstairs and my sister came down and we just rushed out of the house. Thank God police were outside my house already and they were ready and just swarmed in, and that saved my life, really, she said. Those 3 men have yet to be identified, but Krasner said they're all 22 years old. The suspects are charged with attempted murder, but 2 of the victims are in such serious condition that Krasner said they could die. If that happens, those charges could be upgraded. Police say 2 people, a 16-year-old boy and a 21-year-old man, were shot in the head and are currently in extremely critical condition. Insane. The other 3 males, a 17-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a 22-year-old, were shot and are in stable condition. Nearly 100 rounds were fired during the shooting, police said. Yet, Second Amendment advocates will continue to say, we need assault-style rifles in the street. Why? Why? To protect you from a tyrannical government that never bothered you in the first place? Because of some mythical stuff that the right-wing media tells you is going to happen about IRS police busting in your door? Stop. 100 rounds, bro. You can only do that with an assault rifle. It's ridiculous. Krasner said there were hundreds of kids playing basketball and football at the rec center at the time of the incident. Venor said 2 of the weapons fired during the shooting were assault rifles. He added that there were 4 guns found at the crime scene near the playground and 5 guns found inside the Durango. Families who live along 57th Street feel like they're living in a war zone. Something has got to give. Carmela Truel of West Village said, because Philadelphia, everywhere you go, it's a problem. But Philadelphia is really getting out of hand. The entire country is getting out of hand. Fear is growing in West Philly. Truel and her 8-year-old son, Yasir, walk on the same stretch of 57th Street where less than 24 hours earlier 100 shots were fired. It's to the point where I just want to take my son and go, Truel said. It sounded like Beirut over here, Jamar Mohammed said. And I never been to Beirut, but it sounded like that yesterday. A lot of Americans, unfortunately, think that other places in the world are more violent than America. You would have more Americans afraid to go to South Africa, Lebanon, Turkey, Montenegro, Serbia, Tunisia, other parts of Africa, because they think they're violent and scary and dangerous. But honestly, there are more mass shootings, more homicides that happen in the United States than most countries combined. So, yes, the America sounded like Beirut. We should say Beirut sounds like America sometimes whenever they have a civil war in Lebanon. Anyway, so CBS Philadelphia. So like a war zone? Yes, exactly, like a war zone. Muhammad was selling merchandise nearby when the shooting happened. 5 victims just finished playing basketball at Shepard Recreation Center when they were shot in the drive-by shooting. We're not giving up, State Senator Vincent Hughes of Pennsylvania's 7th District said, we believe in our people. We're not giving up on our people. And that's the end of the article, and that's probably the most we'll hear about it. But this isn't the one and only mass shooting, because earlier, about little over a month ago, on June 8th, 2022, A little over a month ago, third person sought in Philadelphia mass shooting that left 3 dead and 12 others injured. What's going on in Philly? I believe over 100 plus children have been shot in just Philadelphia alone in 2022. Check out my other videos about the mass shootings in Philadelphia. But overall, this is an American problem. Once again, the greatest country in the world can't even protect its own citizens. And this video will probably get no views. But that's okay, because my silence will not be a part of your violence. I will continue to speak up against the mass shootings and the gun culture in America. And hopefully we can have change in a country so beautiful, so rich, with so much potential. I hope the people fully recover. My name is Simon Hill. Thank you for watching.